Now, before we head on to the actual topic of the video, there is something I want to share that happened with me today. I was going to college this morning and going to uni, and in the public bus, I was sitting in the window seat and I was looking outside the window, and there was this two similar shaped and sized hill, and it was raining the whole night, so it was sunny in the morning and the sun was very bright. It was clear day, and then what I saw was, there was clouds. After the rain, there are clouds in the some clouds left in the hills, and it was shaped like this in between the hills, in between, in top of the two hills. And I was like thinking, wait a second, that looks like boobs. Like if you look it from like this angle to the boobs, like there's gonna be like boob, and then there's bra, and like, the clouds look like bra, and the hills look like boobs. Anyways, now moving on to the today's topic. Will we ever get another anime like Cowboy Bebop? And the short answer is no. Absolutely not. No. Not the same vibe. uh and before I tell you why, wait, you're gonna leave the video, I know, but like, at least let me tell you why. Yes, we are not gonna get it, another Cowboy Bebop like anime. But before I tell you why, uh, could you subscribe, please? Anyways, please come on. Anyways, moving on to today's topic. Yes, we're not getting another anime like Cowboy Bebop. And to tell you why is because, well, this is not, first of all, like, it is not 1989 or 1999, sorry, 1998 or 1999 right now, and people do not consume on long form content. Have you ever heard one of your friends go like, you know what? I just saw this huge documentary of like 1 hour and I fucking loved it. No, you probably have heard most of your friends like, bruh, like, I was at TikTok, and it said like fruits has nuts, like 6 to 7 nuts, like 6, 7, like these nuts. I am regretfully telling that I have lived through this generation. I have lived through, and it is hell. And I'm simply a person that enjoys long form content with thematic vibes, authentic visuals, dark and cool and authentic vibey visuals. Like in Cowboy Bebop, there are neon lights, starry skies, futuristic techs as envisioned in the early 19s and 1990s, and it was so cool. And it perfectly vibed with how they viewed the world, or how they viewed media back then. Spoice, what the fuck is spoice? Space, a cowboy, space dandy, something. He's a bounty hunter, a cowboy, looking for bounties all over the world with a dark past that you might cry after watching it. It was such a vibe. It just felt like it was alive. At that time, I guess, people just thought it was like cinema, modern Western. At the time, modern Western kind of vibe in anime was, I think, very rare. Like Evangelion, Berserk, yes, they were there, but like the modern ones was, sweet. It was a sweet spot for media and how they themed it. You know, dark theme. Yes, Cowboy Bebop is a dark theme. It is a tragic tale of Spike Spiegel, and it was, these cold frames. Blue is cold frames in the earth, snowy everywhere. Uh, It's just so hard for people to do that nowadays. Like, you see some random fucking anime, and they're like, "Oh, we have the power of Sonen. We're gonna add colors into all of this shit." And what they do, they try to make it tragic. They try to make it human as possible, because human is a tragedy. He being a human is a tragedy in itself. So by adding colors doesn't mean shit. If you're gonna make it tragic, make it tragic. Like, look at Demon Slayer, a perfect example. Modern anime, flashy coloring, and it wants us to feel like, it's tragic. Who is it consumed by? Babies. How? I don't know. Like, it is mostly consumed by babies. Like, oh, flashy colors, my eyes are blind, and like, and the author wants us to think that, oh, this is a tragic story, and I would really hope that you love the tragic story. No, you're showing us flashy colors, man. How the fuck am I, like, oh, Zenitsu hits that fucking guy's head. I'm gonna watch that instead of like, oh, Zenitsu had a dark past and he's overcoming. No, nobody does that nowadays. They're just like, ooh, ooga booga, Zenitsu, ooh, look, ooh, flashy colors. Like, fuck's sake, could you make it least, at least try to make it visually satisfying? And how Cowboy Bebop was. And I'm not comparing Cowboy Bebop to Demon Slayer. Cowboy Bebop is just right there. Demon Slayer, boo. I don't know, bro. It's made for kids. Like, better watch Doraemon's. We used to watch Doraemon's. We used to watch Ninja Hattori. Hattori? Yeah, Hattori. I'm trying to pronounce it as Japanese, bro. I'm Nepali. Fuck's sake. And, like, this kind of concepts, it's just like, it's such a weird thing. Like, you're portraying colors, you have a happy ending everywhere, and you expect the story to be tragic. Why? Like, if you want to make it tragic, do it like, you know Cowboy Bebop. Also, like, there's a really hard spot in today's anime protagonist to find that, cool, calm, collected, with a dark past, tragic romance type of character. Like, if somebody in today's anime and manga landscape makes a main character that, like, uncharismatic, that, calm, like, have a cigarette in his hands, your manga is gonna get axed, and that anime's popularity is just going down. It's just going down. It's still going down. You thought of that? It is already down. It is already down. Like, I can see it. I cannot even see it. All the things that I see nowadays, I was just felt like, oh, we have happy ending. We have colors. We have everything. Do this shit. Like, oh, fuck's sake, man. Life is not always, ponies and rainbows. And the ponies do not have, dark past. Maybe they do have, but who cares? They're ponies. They can get their wish fulfilled by themselves. And, life in itself is dark. And let me just tell you, at the end, you know, life in itself is dark. The feeling that anime, manga, movies, games give us, that we usually like or find relatable, are the dark things. Because how often are you happy in life? No, tell me honestly. Tell me honestly. How often are you happy? Like, 80 to like 30, like 80 to 20 ratio in life. Like, 20% you're happy, you're smiling, haha, and 80% you're just working, thinking about life. You're thinking about what to do in the future. That's life. And we try to be more happy. We try to, balance that ratio to 50-50, but it never does. No matter how much you try to become like 60-40 happy, it never works. The life that we are living, it is dark. And I would, if you can theme it in that way, like, look at movies of Christopher Nolan. The recent anime that I've seen that is closer to this kind of theme is Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Shh. Okay, I know. Oh, Cyberpunk Edge Runner is so colorful. It is in the fucking meta city. Buddy, if you look at Cyberpunk Edge Runners, the whole theme from the starting was dark. And, no matter how colorful the fucking thing, anime was, the main character always had that, hollow feeling inside. And that and the tragedy at the end, Wallahi, bro, that made something in me wake up, and that was not my dick. It would be weird if my dick came out, watching a tragedy. It's just a. Anyways, what I'm saying is, bring back, tragedy genre as you did in Cowboy Bebop. See you, Space Cowboy.